The reading of all good books is like a conversation with the finest minds of past centuries. A quote by René Descartes. Guys, today it's all about reading. Try this. Read 10 pages a day of a non-fiction book. A real book. So, of course, you can read on a tablet, but I actually prefer the real book, especially when you read at night. You don't have the backlight, the blue light. It helps you wind down even more. Of course, better than nothing, especially when you're traveling. You can download a lot of books on it, a lot of storage. No matter which you choose, make your notes. 10 pages a day. Some of you might say, that's an easy challenge for me. I already read 50 pages each day or more. First of all, read a non-fiction book. The second thing, take your time and highlight it. Mark it. Don't be afraid to make some notes. Mark it like crazy if you like, if it's important to you. I know some people are afraid the book has to stay clean. I have been like that the same in the beginning. But first of all, it gets your character and it helps you to. I really take time to read through. I'm not just 30 seconds I'm through the page just so I can read a lot throughout the year or throughout the month. Sometimes it takes me 1.5, 2 or even more minutes instead of those 30 seconds per page. I read something and then when I find it was important, I take my highlighter and highlight a lot. So it can actually look like this. A lot of highlights. And what it does, after reading a lot of books, some books want to be reread again. So I have the feeling that 3 or 4 books, they always pull me back and I want to read them again to gain the knowledge what is there in there. And I can read, of course, the whole thing if I want, or if I want to save some time, I just read through my highlighted pages because I'm very certain that I haven't left anything out on the first read. I always read my books as if I predict that I'm gonna reread them again, and I don't want to spend the same amount of time for that. So that helps you to go back when you find there was a wisdom nugget I can use right now. And referring to René Descartes' quote, it's like a conversation with the finest minds of past centuries. So the classic literature, the philosophies like Stoicism or other philosophies throughout the centuries, from the Greeks to Romans, through the Middle Ages and the new times like Jordan Peterson or Nassim Taleb. But like I mentioned, the classic parts, they are timeless. So much wisdom we can attain for the current hectic times, for times in uncertainty like right now. So I highly recommend to absorb the knowledge of the past centuries of the great thinkers. We are all standing on the shoulders of the giants. Whenever we Whenever a new generation is born, they don't have to learn anything from scratch. The knowledge is adding up. And if you're not reading, you're just living your life. But if you're reading, if you're gaining information, it's like also reliving the past lives, the wisdom which they gave us before. Try this. 10 pages each day. Use a marker and read a non-fiction book.